won't let me see my son. But you fuck with him, mama pop my gun. Pussy ain't no one-on-one. Nigga, we come from the slum. 30 round, 50 round, 100 round. Yeah, pussy boy, them drunk. How you praying like a nun? I ain't never been an actor. Patrick nigga with that cap of shit. We gon' stump his ass just like a cow. The mayor, but she call me mouse. Got her to the spot, gave that bitch a perk. Now she geeking like a banshee. She couldn't even understand me when I told her drop a pen. 448, I get them gone. Boy, this $100 million phone. They hit my jack, they say they need it strong. Well, you look broken, hell, you need a loan. My nigga on nice and you can have a loan. Your bitch told me that was nice and then we bone. No time to cuff a nigga, know I'm gone. Chop on the defense, boy, I'm in the zone. Ain't gotta say it, you know how I'm coming. Been at there hanging like a monkey. Say he got 50 back down in the dungeon. Boy, I hit take some man, he say he bombing. Say he gon' shoot, well, bitch, what it do? I think he bluffing, nigga, what a proof. Told you we coming, now we want to loot. Try me, boy, I'ma leave you with no roof. I got that drink, bitch, I got that juice. No, I ain't bitchin', but I keep the two. That bitch, you fool, but try me like a fool. I promise you won't make another move. I'm in my groove, yeah, nigga, I'm back. Well, I heard you been cuffing on that neck. That bitch, she lick me down out to my sack. You got a new name, boy, we call you Pat. He wanna smoke, well, bitch, what it is? You know I'm sliming nigga like a eel. No, I pop a nigga like a pill. No, I be drinking much straight out the seal. Yeah, it's the mayor, and no with the mall. No, we be trapping, bitch, we don't do fraud. My killer, that youngin' laying in your yard, bitch. Baby mama ain't shit, no. She won't let me see my son. But you fuck with him, mama pop my gun. Pussy ain't no one-on-one. Nigga, we come from the slum. 30 round, 50 round, 100 round. Yeah, pussy boy, them drunk. How you praying like a nun? I ain't never been an actor. Patrick nigga with that cap of shit. We gon' stump his ass just like a cow. The mayor, but she call me mouse. Got her to the spot, gave that bitch a perk. Now she geeking like a banshee. She couldn't even understand me when I told her drop a pen. I pop a perk, she know what it is. Bitch ain't no talking, I ain't Dr. Phil. Pocket they fat as hell like Uncle Phil. Just like a safety, bitch, I'm in the field. Here come the mayor, bitch, this ain't a drill. Say that he looking for me, he a meal. Bitch, if you shoot, you better shoot to kill. I call the demon, he won't let you live. Still told me, fool, my nigga, let him live. So if I can't let him live, I want them ill. Know when I'm coming, boy, I come to kill. I fought your bitch because she like my Leo. I got him mad, cause I'm in my bag. Back on my pocket, heavy, got a sad. And I got Glock that come with extra mad. Cause if he drippin', yeah, that shit be sad. He want to smoke, boy, I bring a cloud. Bitch ain't no bossing, but I'm bring around. But with the mark, that nigga won't be found. I promise you, we gon' come and shut it down. I get your bitch, and I'm on the left. As soon as I get to work, I make it flip. I got the power, I can get you dip. Roll up that cookie, nigga, chocolate chip. You want that pressure, whoop it, make a move. You try and fool a nigga, you the fool. I had them gutter babies on your roof. No act gon' disappear, a nigga poof. Yeah, bitch, I'm back, and I'm here to stay. Even your bitch gon' tell you that I'm great. So when you see me, nigga, fish your face. Yeah, it's the mayor, bitch, I won the race. Baby mama ain't shit, no. She won't let me see my son. But you fuck with him, mama pop my gun. Pussy ain't no one-on-one. Nigga, we come from the slum. 30 round, 50 round, 100 round. Yeah, pussy boy, them drunk. How you praying like a nun? I ain't never been an actor. Patrick nigga with that cap of shit. We gon' stump his ass just like a cow. The mayor, but she call me mouse. Got her to the spot, gave that bitch a perk. Now she geeking like a banshee. She couldn't even understand me when I told her drop a pen.
This is after that nigga.
This program is intended for an adult audience and deals with mature humor and contains material including language, violence, and nudity that may be offensive to some viewers. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
Good morning, good evening, good night, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's your nighttime, right time DJ Music, and welcome to another episode of the Chop Shop. Well, I won't exactly call this a loose nigga roundup because some of y'all women might get mad at me for some of the things I'm going to say. We're going to focus on Charleston White and some of the shit that he said. As pointed out to me, one of my folks that I follow on my Instagram page. Came across my timeline and he said, hey, as we as black men, as we gonna stand for this, as we gonna allow Charleston White to say the things that he say about black women and not do nothing and not say nothing. Well, he must not know me because I'm not one of them cats. Nope. And I'm gonna say this and before we get started, any man, whether he black or white, whether he Latino or wherever he comes from, whatever language he speaks, If he come out of his mouth and say that he don't love his mama, haul ass, ladies, run. That's why I played that song. Baby mama ain't shit. Put you in the mood for what we're gonna talk about. Get you mad at Charleston White. So maybe y'all black women will stop going over there and supporting this loose nigga. But before we get started, again, I'd like to point out something to you folks. I hear a lot of these people calling folks like Charleston White and Candace Owens and Jason Whitlock and a few of the other ones. Not Sambo's, but Uncle Tom's. So, what I decided to do is go find somebody that could maybe hold a little bit more clout to me to tell you folks to stop calling these type niggas Uncle Toms, because they're not heroes in our communities. So I went and dug up a clip from Dr. Claude Anderson. I'm gonna let this run through. I'm not gonna interrupt it. It's only about 5 minutes long. Y'all take a listen to this. The story of Sambo versus Uncle Tom. I don't have a PhD in front of my name or behind my name, so some folks don't want to seem to listen to me. So listen to Dr. Claude Anderson.
This whole meritorious manumission policy is in effect, moving along at the same time, this control system. About 1852, a lady named Harriet Beach Stover wanted to write about it. So she then wrote about the whole thing. She interviewed a guy whose name was Henderson, which you all know as Uncle Tom. He then told about the story. She wrote a book called Uncle Tom's Cabin. But in that book, contrary to what most people think, Uncle Tom was not the bad guy. The bad guy was Sambo. And so I'm asking you all as my brothers and sisters, please in the future, don't call a black guy who you know is worthless and trifling. Don't call him an Uncle Tom. That's complimenting him. Call him his real name, what he's entitled to, and that's a Sambo. Any black person sells his own people out and will do them in, he is a Sambo. Now, what is a Sambo? Again, going back to meritorious manumission in 1710, the whole conditioning process, the whole brainwashing system, the whole social engineering system says that you must teach black people to see the world through the eyes of whites. You must see everything through their eyes. You must accept their values, their superiority, whatever they think and feel, and that way we got you contained. And that's why when you see somebody like Colin Powell somebody running for office, they say, well, you can run for office if you see the things the way we want to see them. If you want to be conservative, you can run for office. If you want to place a lot of importance on abortion, you can run for office. If you want to talk about being anti-taxing, you can run for office, which means if you see things the way we see them as a black person, you're safe. You're acceptable. And if you don't want to do that way, then become an athlete or an entertainer. So therefore, you identify the rest of those blacks in the country. You stay away from them. They're bad. And you start going out and you try to go get a penny out of an athlete and entertainer, do something for the black community. They're going to do it. Their advisors won't let them do it. The agents won't do it. Their promotion people won't let them do it. They're going to identify with your community because, again, they have now already died and gone to heaven. Okay, so when Harriet Beecher Stowe put out her book, what she tried to tell black folk is that Uncle Tom was not a bad guy. See, Uncle Tom, if you read that book, and most blacks, 90% of blacks never read it. They always call another black, he's an Uncle Tom, he's an Uncle Tom. He's not an Uncle Tom. If you read the book Uncle Tom was a guy who would not beat black women. Uncle Tom in that book was a guy who would not beat other blacks to make them pick more cotton. Uncle Tom was a guy who would come in at night and take cotton out of his own bag and put it in other black folks' bags so they wouldn't get whippings at night. Uncle Tom was a guy who would not tell where black folk were hiding when they went across the river and they broke free as slaves. But Simon Legree, the white slave master, had a black that followed him around named Sambo, who always says, you show me, give me the right, I'll show you how to trees the coons. I'll show you where they hides.
You niggas ain't shit.
And see, that's the guy. See, his role responsibility was going back to meritorious manumission. I told you about what you got to protect white folks' property and protect their wealth. He says, I will protect it and find it for you. And that's why you read in those end of the movies and books that came out after Uncle Tom, you always had a black guy, a black slave, was running down the road saying, Master, master, here comes the army. Let's hide our silver and gold. And you all say, our? How did it get to be our? You know, he always wants to say something that doesn't even belong to him. And that showed up all through history. And today you got the same kind of personality doing it. And now he's not saying let's hide our silver and gold. He's called himself a conservative. I'm also against affirmative action for black folk. I'm against quotas. I'm against preferential treatment. Even had one running around talking about he wanted to pass a law to stop black folk from discriminating against whites. You still got that kind of personality that always wants to protect something, protect the strong. You always got that kind of Sambo personality. And nowadays, the best way to get rich is to say, I'm going to practice that master's gold and silver, and I'm going to be against them black folk. I guarantee I can get you a radio talk show. I can get you a television show. I can even get you an appointment to the Supreme Court.
This program is intended for an adult audience and deals with mature.
You tell me how many black folk you want to sell out, and I guarantee I'll show you how to make money. Because you see, every ethnic group, every religious group, every racial group, every political group has always made money off of black folk. Okay?
Well, folks, you heard it from the good doctor himself. Every racial group, every ethnic group, every religious group, whether it be here in the United States or abroad, has made money off black people. So that's the history of Sambo, folks. Stop calling these loose niggas like Charleston White we're about to discuss next. Stop calling these loose niggas Uncle Toms, because they not deserving of that. You heard what Uncle Tom did. This is based on the true character. Mr. Henderson was the real Uncle Tom. You don't gotta believe me, but I bet you'll believe Dr. Claude Anderson, because I hear Sambos like BGS trying to use his quotes a lot. Sure do. Sambos, sand niggas like Angry Man trying to use his quotes. Not gonna work. I want to call this, as I call them, loose nigga roundups. But I don't talk to. This is going to be hard for me, ladies and gentlemen, because I don't like speaking to black women the way that I'm going to speak to y'all after a few of y'all listen to this Charleston White here. And you'll see why I'm going to speak to you harshly. Because some of y'all go over and support this nigga. Kicking it up in his chat rooms, sending him super chats, going to his comedy shows. And that's another thing. Charleston White is not a successful comedian. The same things he talks about in these live streams and on these platforms is the same things he go out there making jokes about. All he does is just try and put a little humor to it, but it's the same thing. A modern day minstrel show is what Charleston White is. Now, even the sun will shine on a dog ass if he hold it up right at some point in time. So to say everything that Charleston White says is wrong, absolutely not. Even a broke clock right twice a day. So Charleston White, I'll give you the benefit on that. But other than that, no sir. You are 100% a bona fide, consummate idiot. And I'm going to show you folks why here. Let's go ahead and start this off right here. Now that we have the definition of Sambo, you tell me, after listening to that, this Charleston White and folks that think like him do not fit the definition of Sambo. Listen.
I'd rather for black people to go back to slavery than let a black woman run this goddamn country. Don't do it. Say, listen, man, I'm against anything with a black woman running. Shit. Motherfucker, bitch, you get your ass back in that bedroom and in the kitchen.
Biden said, first off, he said he's going to hire a black female for vice president. And that it just skipped over. What about white females? What about any other group? It just, when you go down that route, you take mediocrity, and that's what they have right now as a vice president.
Are you suggesting she was a DEI hire?
100%. She was a DEI hire. He said he was going to hire, and she didn't.
Question. Black man. Is this what we're going to do? We're going to co-sign with a bitch who has to turn sideways to see what was right in front of them.
No, sir. I'm not one of those black men that turn a blind eye to such buffoonery, such idiotic statements as that. You hear them, what he said. He would rather black folks go back into slavery, knowing what slavery did to us as black people. He would much rather have that placed upon himself, his children, his family, than for a black woman to run this country. Do you know how profound that is, folks? But this is the kind of nigga that y'all women go and support. You will defend, some of y'all women will defend Charleston White to the ends of this earth. Maybe you thinking that, well, if I say something about Charleston White, he'll destroy my channel. So what? Everything comes with a price sometimes. If I was worried about Charleston White destroying my channel, I wouldn't give a fuck. YouTube taking it, it's not mine anyway. But what am I saying about Charleston White? Or what am I gonna say about Charleston White that I'm wrong about? Tell me. What did he say just now that white supremacist didn't say? What did he say? If you took one of those voice changes and changed it to where both voices would sound familiar, could you tell the difference between Charleston White and that sitting member of Congress? Tells you about the folks that put him in the office. So no, my man, we are not going to sit around and just allow Charleston White to desecrate our women like this. No, we're not. At least not me.
Are we going to get into bed with mediocre white men whose greatest achievement in their entire life was being promoted to the grand wizard of their local clan chapter? Charleston White is a weak piece of shit. He is the very epitome of why women even started to think of having a conversation between choosing bears over men.
I want you to think about that, what he just said. When in the history, and I'm going to borrow this word, of niggative, before 2023, 2022, 2024, that women would ever say, I would rather sleep with a bear. I would rather pour honey between my legs and sit on an ant nest before I deal with some of you black men. If you listen to BGS, he talked about it started in 1973. Well, BGS, I wasn't that old in 1973, but I know damn well there was no women around me that talked like that. My aunts didn't talk like that. My cousins didn't talk like that. No, sir. He just did a stream about this earlier today. Black men and white women. Shit, don't make a difference to me. Turn the lights off. It's all the same. Don't get mad at me. Shit.
Representative Tim Burchett here, the Republican representative from Tennessee, he embodies the fear that white men of such mediocre status have when it comes to black women. Black men, we should not find ourselves ever at an intersection where the rocket raccoonery of Charleston white intersects with the racial misogyny of a Tim Burchett. Now here's the thing. Any valid criticisms you may have of Kamala Harris's policies or her past decisions, those are valid critiques. But the intersection of these two weak-ass bitches have nothing to do with that. The two reasons they're attacking Kamala Harris can be summed up in one phrase. She is a woman of color. Whether you like it or not, Donald Harris is a black man, and therefore his daughter is a black woman. Now, regardless of my differences with Kamala Harris over policies in the past, I will not sit idly by and let anyone attack black womanhood in my face. Let's get it.
Shit.
Yeah, let's get it. Because I don't either, my man. And I think anyone that's ever seen me on some of them panels, there's only so much I'll take before I jump on the panel and say, hey, what the fuck are you talking about? You can't go through a stream of mine and find me just idly just desecrating black women because. And the thing about it is, Sambos hold no position. They stand for nothing and they fall for everything. So what I'm about to present to you, you heard Charleston White say this earlier. Less than 24 hours, he goes on another interview. And now he says that he's going to vote for Kamala Harris because he, through his meditation and praying, he saw the light. But guess why he saw the light? Because God told him that she is not a black woman. And one more thing before I push this play button. See, the thing about white America is, if you look at the halls of Congress, the majority of it, what we call blue hairs, they're old. They're 60, and I'm saying 68, 69, 70, 75, all the way up to 78. The old America is dying off, folks. Their way of living is dying off. And any society, any civilization that feels the last vestiges of what they're holding on to, they're going to fight to the very end to keep it. And that's exactly what Donald Trump and this Project 2025 is doing. They see the last vestiges of power slipping away from them, not because of policies that they set in place. It's because that they're getting old. They did not keep up with their death rate, did not keep up with their birth rate. Go look it up for yourself if you don't think I know what I'm talking about. Go see why they were hard pressed to overturn Roe v. Wade. Because their young women are not having babies. The argument in the YouTube streets is that black women are single mothers. So guess what? Roe v. Wade, according to y'all, shouldn't have had any effect on black women when it comes to single mothers, right? Because they weren't having abortions, were they? If they all single mamas fucking up the United States, as y'all say, as Charleston White says, listen.
They black women think they got a hero. Boy, they just don't know that bitch don't like him. You ready to make history with this one? I'm changing my vote. I'm going with Kamala. I done had a long talk with God in the shower, butt naked. Yeah, and we had a walk in the Garden of Eden. And yeah, he showed me where Kamala followed a little bit more instructions than the average black woman. She got a white man. Well, I wouldn't dare vote for a black woman, but she ain't a black woman. So I ain't doing nothing wrong voting for her. Black women don't know how to mind. And they don't know how to follow instructions. And they don't know how to sit down and be corrected. As a president, you got to be corrected. Black women can't be corrected. The preacher can't even correct them. God can't even correct
You see, this is the problem that I have with y'all folks that big up this kind of conversation. He just said God himself, the divine one, can't correct the behavior of black women. Does that make sense? The creator, he can't, what's the word I'm looking for without trying to be, he can't control his creation. Well, I'll be damned. The reason why Adam and Eve got thrown out of the garden is because Adam listened to Eve, according to, if you read the scriptures, and Eve got cursed with what? A period? Eve would suffer through childbirth and would not know, and would not remember the pain and still desire her husband. That was Eve's punishment. What is he talking about? But those are the talking points of Donald Trump and the MAGA sycophants. Now he went from I wouldn't dare vote for a black woman to Vice President Harris ain't black. Well, if I went to the airport and said, Mr. Harris, Mr. Clifford Harris, Mr. Calvin Harris, Mr. Tyrone Harris, please come to the courtesy desk, would y'all be looking for a Mexican man? Would y'all be looking for a white man? Chances are not. Especially if his name Tyrone. But I digress. Let's continue.
You really gotta beat black women.
Ooh, I'll stop that right there. He said you really gotta beat black women. You told Harpo to beat me. But women, y'all celebrate this nigga. Tell me I'm wrong. Go look in the comment section. Go over to Charleston White page and look at the comment section and tell me I'm wrong about some of the women that I'm talking about right now that agree 100% with Charleston White. Even so much so, they'll agree to their own detriment by talking about, yeah, it's okay, because if you agree with that statement that Charleston White said, you agree with you as a woman deserve your ass beat if your husband says you're out of line, or your husband or your boyfriend says you're out of line. He deserves to go 6 o'clock of the bullseye upside your head. Just don't want to believe that you want it. Oops, upside your motherfucking head. Ladies, like I say, when you leave the protection grid, it's a hard place to come back into it, because you have been warned. I'll say this, if that was Taz Exclusive, if that was Angry Man, if that was O'Shea Duke Jackson, and a few of these other, as we call them, content creators, make that same statement, how many streams would be made about them dudes, these insignificant YouTubers? Whether you like it or not, Charleston White is not insignificant, because everybody wants to hang out with this dude for some reason or other. Even so much, you can say what you want to, but Princella went over there and made a name for herself by hanging out with Charleston White. She went over there and got contact. She went over there and cut up some raw meat and brought it back to her followers. Say what you want to. Tell me I'm wrong.
You got this on camera? Man, please, cause you really gotta beat black women. Every nigga I know got a damn near whoop his hoe for a black woman to listen. You can't say, get up! God damn! She come out the room, won't know who you calling her. Man, them other girls shut up.
So wait, how do you change that 24 hours later? Because it's like,
because I prayed and meditated. Don't you pray and meditate and ask for God to give you an answer?
yeah.
Man, I just come out the shower. I was praying and meditating with the Lord. And God showed me, because I was basing my decision off black women with.
So he was praying and meditating, and that's the best answer that the divine one, God Almighty himself, told you to say, Charleston White, you know, my son, you were right. You shouldn't vote for her because you thought she was a black woman. But now that I've showed you, Charleston, that she's not a black woman, it's okay to vote for her now. You meditated. You're butt naked in the shower talking to the man upstairs, and that's the best answer he gave you. And some people will think that was a mic drop moment. He's going to try it again here in just a minute. You'll see what I mean. Listen for your damn self.
No man, I ain't never seen them. You see what I'm saying? I've been looking at all these black women who can't keep a man, don't have a man, and they have a hard time listening to a man. Well, here's Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris ain't no black woman. Her daddy is Indian and her mama Asian. She ain't got a nigga in her. You see what I'm saying? So she got a white man. Now, one thing I know about any colored woman, whether she's Mexican, black, yellow, light brown, dark brown, pitch black, or Kodak black. One thing I know about the colored woman is one man she listen to, and that's a white boss. Can't nobody tell a black woman nothing but a white boss, homie. So
I told y'all, he thought that was a mic drop moment. Now, let me go ahead and hand this mic back to you. Pick that shit up off the ground, because no, it wasn't, Charleston White. That was probably one of the most idiotic statements I've ever heard from anybody say. We're all just a little bit dumber for listening to you for this long. But anyway, that's not exclusive to black women. When you go to your job, ladies and gentlemen, whether you work at Walmart or whether you work in a warehouse or whether you work in the corporate arena, whether your job is at the Pentagon or whether it's at the gas station, you got a supervisor. Your supervisor has a supervisor. Your supervisor has a supervisor. It goes all the way up to the owner of said establishment, right or wrong. Do you think you can tell your supervisor, fuck you, fuck off, and be back to work the next day? Do you think that you can tell your boss, just because he's a white man, I'm not going to listen to you, and still have your job? You can't. It's called going to work, Charleston White. But, you know, you got to figure, that's something you probably ain't really never did. From listening to you, you've been a thug since what, 14, 15, 16? So you've been a loose nigga for a long time. And I gotta ask all the real thugs out there, not advocating for violence, but how did this nigga get by with saying the things that he say about y'all? And he ain't got beat up at least once. Is he that untouchable? Or is he a plant? Is he an agent of the state?
this woman here that's colored, she got a white husband that seemed to be doing a good job as a husband, and she seemed like she followed instructions and can be corrected. You can't correct black women in America. You got to beat them.
I mean, since yesterday, over $75 million has been raised.
Oh, that's from the gay community. Don't even worry about it. Gay community got unlimited money. Just know, out of that 75 million, black people didn't give $1 million. I think 12 black women tried to do something.
Now watch this, folks. Two things. Let me say this. As an interviewer, as a person as I call myself a protector of black women, I would have stopped this interview the first time he said he advocates for beating women. But not only did he say it once, he said it twice. And the interviewer did not correct him either time. He just moved on like it was just something casual that Charleston White said. Sambo, they will say anything for the almighty dollar. Is we sick, boss? Sambo, that's who Charleston White is. He is not Uncle Tom. Sambo, do anything for the dollar. The very first thing that he said, what? This camera on? You ready to make history, homie? Trying to go viral. Because he knows that's where the money's at. The degradation, the decapitation of black women. That's where the money at. And some of y'all black women are your own worst enemy. Shoot your damn self in the foot by going over there supporting this clown.
Raised like $1 million, but that ain't shit.
Yeah, they did like it was like a Zoom call she did with a few black women. I don't know the number. It was a great amount of black women, and they raised $1.1 million.
Out of that 1.1 million, 900,000 was somebody's child support money. Them hoes went tapped into the child support fund to donate to her, man. Yeah, that ain't their own money. That's child support money. Black women ain't got no money to get away like that. Cause if they did, why everybody on food stamps?
Please welcome.
What can you say about that, folks? Even when confronted with the truth, the same thing that you hear from Charleston White, from this Sambo, from this loose nigga, is what you hear over there on Fox News. Black women, black men on welfare. Well, if you know for a fact, go look it up for yourself. The majority of folks in this country on welfare are white folks. The majority of folks per capita that are on welfare reside in red states. Bottom line to it. Now, if we talk about numbers, another idiotic statement that Charleston White, if y'all keep on to press this 13-14% population, how could we, as black people, be on welfare more? Maybe you've never been to rural Mississippi, rural South Carolina, rural West Virginia, rural North Carolina, rural Tennessee, and seen how impoverished some of those folks live. But again, that's Charleston White, folks. This is the kind of loose nigga that y'all big up every time he comes up with something. Nigga do it short, you see more women in the comment section agreeing with him than men. What's wrong with y'all? What is it about watching someone disrespect you that makes you want to say, well, he didn't mean that? Yeah, he did. No, he only doing it because he's trying to make money. So it's okay to make money off you like that? That's all right, black women? Because I guarantee you, if that was a white man, if that was, let me pick if that was Destiny that said what Charleston White said, how many of y'all women would be holding up and holding streams, holding Destiny to task? If that was Taz exclusive that said that about you black women, how many of y'all would be holding streams, holding that nigga to task? And before I go, there's one more thing I gotta say. I was listening to a stream the other day, and I'm gonna call the stream out "The Voice of Venus." The conversation that y'all was having was about men having intimate relationships with other men. Well, I can tell you, as a grown-ass motherfucking man, I don't have intimate relationships with other men. The mere fact that you combine those two words, go look them up in the dictionary. Don't focus on the part of the definition that fits your narrative. Venus. There's a camaraderie ship. There's a kinship. There's a loyalty amongst men. There's a code amongst men. There's no intimacy in a friendship with two grown men. Not the way you were trying to imply it. You can say that you weren't trying to imply it that way. But the more of those men on that panel, whether I agree with them on that day or didn't agree with them on this particular day, I happen to agree with some of the men that I disagree with emphatically on other panels. A particular friend of mine I've known over 30 years, the word intimate has never come up in conversation when I talk about this man I call a friend. But see, a man, his friends are numbered. You may have several acquaintances, but your friends are numbered. Friends, that's a friend of mine, it rarely should be used by men. That's acquaintance of mine. I can call my real, true friends by their names, not by their color. And I don't have intimate relationships with either of them. There is a difference. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out here.